Your shoulder needs these 4 exercises before it's too late. More than 20 million people around the world visit doctors each year due to rotator cuff injuries. And when that nagging shoulder pain appears, the damage is usually already done. Lost mobility, reduced strength. Even reaching for something on a shelf feels like a full-body exercise. Despite this, shoulders continue to be one of the most neglected and misunderstood muscle groups, both by people who don't train and, surprisingly, at the gym as well. Many believe that time will never collect the bill for neglecting this complex joint, until the first pain appears and shows that the price to pay is high. Before we begin, tell me in the comments your name and how long you've been training. Problems that weak shoulders cause as we age. Number 1, increased risk of injuries. The shoulder joint is the most mobile in the human body, which also makes it the most unstable. This dangerous combination makes weakened shoulders fertile ground for injuries. The rotator cuff, formed by 4 small but crucial muscles, is particularly vulnerable when not properly strengthened. With natural aging, muscle fibers and tendons lose elasticity and strength. Without specific training to compensate for this loss, the risk of partial or complete tears increases exponentially after age 40. Most concerning is that these injuries rarely occur suddenly. They develop slowly, through repetitive microtraumas over years of simple everyday movements like picking up a suitcase, opening a heavy window, or simply sleeping in an improper position. When you finally feel that sharp pain, the problem has existed for a long time. To properly perform everyday movements without overloading fragile structures, your shoulder needs balanced strength in all directions, front, side, and back. When one of these regions is weak, the others compensate, creating imbalances that eventually lead to chronic injuries that are difficult to reverse. Number 2, loss of mobility and independence. Imagine not being able to comb your own hair, put on a shirt, or reach for an object on a high shelf. This is the reality for many people who neglected shoulder health throughout life. The progressive loss of mobility doesn't happen overnight. It's a silent decline that many only notice when it's already advanced. The shoulder joint naturally has an impressive range of motion, allowing rotation, abduction, adduction, and circumduction. However, without regular use of this full range, the use it or lose it principle takes effect. Connective tissues begin to shorten, the joint capsule loses elasticity, and movement patterns become increasingly limited. What few people know is that shoulder mobility is directly linked to functional independence in old age. A study with elderly people over 70 years showed that the ability to raise arms above the head is among the strongest predictors of independence in daily activities. When this ability is lost, quality of life plummets. Remember that healthy mobility doesn't just mean passive flexibility, but also motor control throughout the entire range of motion. It's not enough to be able to raise your arm. You need strength and stability in all positions. Number 3, worsening posture. A forward curved posture, with drooping and rounded shoulders, is not just an aesthetic problem. It's an alarming indicator of muscle weakness that accelerates aging and causes a cascade of functional problems. Weak shoulders, especially in the posterior region, are unable to counteract the constant forward pull caused by gravity and worsened by hours looking down at phones and computers. What many people don't realize is that this inadequate posture not only makes you look older and insecure, but also compromises your breathing capacity. With shoulders curved forward, thoracic expansion is limited, reducing the volume of air your lungs can take in. Less oxygen means less energy, more fatigue, and worse muscle recovery. Additionally, the drooping shoulder posture creates constant tension in the neck and upper back muscles. The trapezius and spinal erectors work in overload to compensate for the lack of proper activation of the scapular stabilizers. Over time, this chronic tension leads to tension headaches, cervical stiffness, and even compromised circulation to the brain. To correct this posture, it's not enough to momentarily pull your shoulders back. You need to systematically strengthen the muscles responsible for scapular retraction and external rotation of the shoulder. The posterior portion of the deltoid, the infraspinatus, and the teres minor are often the weakest links in this chain. Exercise number 1, cable lateral raise. This exercise represents one of the most efficient and safe ways to develop the lateral deltoids, muscles responsible for giving that impressive width to the shoulders. Unlike the dumbbell version, the cable lateral raise maintains constant tension throughout the entire movement, maximizing stimulus even when your shoulders are already fatigued. The cable lateral raise originated in physical therapy environments, where it was primarily used for rehabilitation, before being adopted by professional bodybuilders who discovered its potential for muscle development. Its great advantage is allowing a more natural and less stressful arc of movement for the joint. The benefits go far beyond aesthetics. Strong lateral deltoids are fundamental for stabilizing the shoulder during overhead arm movements. They function as a kind of protective shield for the joint, significantly reducing the risk of impingement syndrome and rotator cuff injuries. Additionally, they are crucial for keeping shoulders in a neutral position, combating the natural tendency for internal rotation that worsens with time. To perform it correctly, position yourself laterally to the low pulley. Hold the handle with the hand furthest from the machine. Maintain a slight bend in the elbow, and fix this angle throughout the entire movement. This small flexion is crucial as it reduces stress on the shoulder joint while maximizing recruitment of the lateral deltoid. Start the movement with your arm close to your body and raise it laterally until it's parallel to the floor or slightly above. The secret is to keep your thumb slightly higher than your pinky finger during the raise. This promotes a slight external rotation that protects the shoulder and increases muscle recruitment. A common mistake is swinging the trunk to generate momentum. This not only reduces the effectiveness of the exercise, but also increases the risk of injuries. Keep your core engaged, your lower ribs down, and don't allow your body to swing. Another frequent mistake is raising the arm excessively high, which transfers tension to the trapezius and can cause impingement in the shoulder. I recommend starting with 3 to 4 sets of 12 to 15 repetitions, using a weight that allows you to maintain perfect technique. To intensify without increasing weight, try holding for 1 second at the maximum contraction position. For beginners, I suggest starting with the pulley a bit higher to facilitate the movement and gradually lowering it as strength increases. Exercise number 2, Arnold Press. Named in honor of the legendary Arnold Schwarzenegger, who popularized this movement, the Arnold Press is a compound exercise that works all 3 portions of the deltoid simultaneously, while also involving the scapular stabilizing muscles. What makes this exercise particularly valuable is the combination of external rotation and upward pressure in a single fluid movement. Originally created as a more complete variation of the traditional shoulder press, the movement quickly gained popularity for its unique ability to stimulate balanced growth of the shoulders. Unlike many isolated exercises, the Arnold Press recruits practically all shoulder musculature in a functional pattern that translates into real-world strength. The benefits go beyond hypertrophy. This exercise significantly improves neuromuscular coordination and shoulder proprioception, creating greater body awareness during complex movements. It also strengthens the external rotators, often neglected, which are crucial for preventing injuries and maintaining joint health in the long term. To perform it correctly, sit on a bench with a backrest or stand with an upright posture. Hold a pair of dumbbells at shoulder height, with palms facing you. This is your starting position. From there, initiate a rotation movement of the arms, turning the elbows outward while beginning to press the dumbbells upward. Halfway through the movement, your palms will be facing forward, and you'll continue pressing until your arms are fully extended above your head. On the way down, do the reverse path, rotating your wrists so that the palms return to facing you when the dumbbells return to the starting position. A common mistake is using excessive momentum, especially in the rotation phase. The movement should be controlled and deliberate, without swinging or body impulses. Another frequent mistake is excessively arching the back during the pressing phase, which places unnecessary stress on the lower back region. You'll know you're doing it right when you feel a balanced contraction throughout the shoulder, without discomfort in the front part of the joint. The sensation should be of a fluid and natural movement, not forced or uncomfortable. For beginners, I recommend starting with 3 sets of 10 to 12 repetitions, using light dumbbells to master the movement pattern before increasing the load. Progression can include gradual weight increase, reduction of rest intervals between sets, or increased time under tension through slower repetitions in the eccentric phase. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Having constant access to science-based information is what will help you progress with long-term health in the bodybuilding world. Exercise number 3, Reverse fly. This frequently neglected exercise is possibly the most important for the long-term health of your shoulders. The reverse fly specifically focuses on the posterior portion of the deltoid, the most underdeveloped shoulder region in most people and, coincidentally, the most critical for preventing injuries and maintaining proper posture. Initially developed as a rehabilitation exercise for athletes with muscle imbalances, the reverse fly quickly proved valuable not only for postural correction, but also for completing the three-dimensional development of the shoulders. The posterior portion of the deltoid is notoriously difficult to stimulate in everyday movements, which makes it prone to atrophy without specific training. The benefits of the reverse fly go far beyond aesthetics. Strengthening the posterior portion of the deltoid creates a natural counterbalance to the predominance of the anterior shoulder and chest muscles, muscles that are excessively recruited in daily activities such as typing, driving, and using smartphones. This restored muscle balance is essential for maintaining proper posture and drastically reducing the risk of impingement syndrome and chronic pain. To perform it correctly, lie on your side on an inclined bench or bend your trunk forward at a similar angle if standing. Hold a pair of dumbbells with your arms extended in front of you, palms facing each other. From this position, open your arms laterally, maintaining a slight bend in the elbows, until they form a line approximately perpendicular to the trunk. The secret is to focus on conscious activation of the back of the shoulders. Imagine trying to squeeze an orange between your shoulder blades at the point of maximum contraction. Hold for 1 second in this contracted position before returning in a controlled manner to the starting position. A common mistake is using excessive weights, which inevitably leads to compensatory recruitment of the trapezius and reduces activation of the posterior deltoid. Remember that this muscle is relatively small and responds better to perfect execution with moderate weights. Another frequent mistake is not maintaining scapular retraction during the movement, which significantly diminishes its postural benefit. I recommend starting with 3 to 4 sets of 12 to 15 repetitions, using weights that allow you to feel a localized burn in the back of the shoulder without compromising technique. To increase intensity without adding weight, try longer isometric pauses at the point of maximum contraction. Exercise number 4. Dumbbell lateral raise. This classic shoulder training exercise remains one of the most effective for developing the lateral deltoids, giving that impressive width to the silhouette. Despite its apparent simplicity, the dumbbell lateral raise, when performed correctly, is one of the most powerful tools for building strong, healthy, and proportional shoulders. The beauty of this exercise lies in its ability to completely isolate the lateral deltoid, minimizing assistance from other muscles when performed with proper technique. This characteristic makes it irreplaceable for correcting imbalances and creating that three-dimensional appearance of the shoulders that so highlights physical form. The benefits go far beyond aesthetics. Well-developed lateral deltoids function as natural protectors of the shoulder joint, especially during pushing and pulling movements. They also contribute significantly to shoulder stability in everyday movements, such as carrying groceries or lifting objects laterally. To perform it correctly, stand with feet shoulder-width apart and hold a dumbbell in each hand at your sides. Maintain a slight bend in the elbows and fix this angle throughout the entire movement. With palms facing your body and elbows slightly in front of the trunk, raise your arms laterally until they are parallel to the floor. What many people don't know is that a small modification in hand position can maximize lateral deltoid activation. By using what we call the T-pouring position, you naturally promote a slight external rotation of the shoulder that increases lateral deltoid recruitment while protecting the joint. A mistake I see many people make is raising the shoulders toward the ears during the movement, excessively recruiting the trapezius. Keep your shoulders depressed and stable throughout the entire execution. Another common mistake is using body momentum to throw the weights upward, which drastically reduces the effectiveness of the exercise and increases the risk of injuries. If you don't like or can't perform the dumbbell lateral raise for any reason, I have an excellent alternative exercise to share with you. Bonus exercise, EZ bar upright row. This often underestimated exercise is an excellent alternative for those looking to develop the lateral deltoids without overloading the shoulders with pure abduction movements. The EZ bar upright row combines elements of pulling and raising, creating a unique and highly effective stimulus for the entire shoulder region, with special emphasis on the lateral deltoids and trapezius. The EZ bar offers a significant biomechanical advantage over the straight bar, as its angled shape allows a more natural position of the wrists, reducing stress on the elbows and wrists during the movement. This characteristic makes the exercise particularly valuable for people with a history of joint discomfort in traditional lateral raises. The benefits of this movement go beyond isolated muscle development. The upright row works the shoulder in a functional pattern that simulates many everyday actions such as lifting objects to chest height. Additionally, being a compound movement, it involves greater neuromuscular coordination and allows the use of more substantial loads for long-term progression. To perform it correctly, stand with feet shoulder width apart. Hold the EZ bar with a grip slightly narrower than shoulder width, palms facing your body. Keep the bar against your thighs, shoulders depressed, and core engaged to protect the lower back. From this position, pull the bar upward in a straight line, keeping it close to your body until it reaches approximately chin or collarbone height. Your elbows should remain above the bar throughout the entire movement, leading the pulling action. At the highest point, your arms will form an inverted V, with elbows pointing outward and upward. The secret is to focus on raising the elbows, not on the movement of the bar itself. Imagine that your elbows are being pulled toward the ceiling by invisible strings. This will ensure maximum recruitment of the lateral deltoids and minimize unnecessary activation of other muscle groups. A common mistake is using excessively heavy weights, which invariably leads to poor technique and diminishes deltoid activation in favor of the trapezius and biceps. Another frequent mistake is moving the bar away from the body during the upward movement, which places unnecessary stress on the lower back region and reduces the effectiveness of the movement. Remember that consistency is more important than intensity when it comes to joint health. Include these exercises in your routine regularly, focusing on perfect technique before seeking impressive loads. Your shoulders will thank you not only with a more athletic appearance, but mainly with extra years of mobility and functionality. If you like this, and also want to see a complete chest workout, we have a video appearing right now on screen, showing the most complete workout you can do for this very important muscle, based on science. Don't miss it. Thank you for watching this far, and may God bless you, my friend.